This is Spanish 1, sentences 209 through 212. 209. Ask your friend, what do you put on when it is cold? ¿Qué te pones cuando hace frío? ¿Qué te pones cuando hace frío? 210. When it is cold, I put on a coat. Cuando hace frío, me pongo un abrigo. Cuando hace frío, me pongo un abrigo. What does Carlos put on when it is hot? Cuando hace calor, ¿qué se pone Carlos? Cuando hace calor, ¿qué se pone Carlos? When it is hot, Carlos puts on short pants. Cuando hace calor, Carlos se pone pantalones cortos. Cuando hace calor, Carlos se pone pantalones cortos. All right, let's look at the first one, 209. What do you put on when it's cold? Now, if I just said, ¿Qué pones cuando hace frío? I would be asking, hey, what do you put on other people when it is cold? Remember, Spanish is based on religion, and religion is based on serving others. So if I walk into the class and say, this morning I shaved, to a Spanish group, they're going to assume that I shaved somebody else. If I say, this morning I showered, Spanish speakers are going to assume I showered someone else. All right, so can you shave yourself and shower yourself, and can you put clothing on yourself? Yes, but you have to put the self, the me te se. So, literally, what yourself do you put on when it's cold? Answer, when it is cold, I myself put on a coat. So again, if you say, yo pongo un abrigo, to a Spanish speaker, they're going to assume that you're putting the coat on somebody else. If you're putting a coat on yourself, you have to put a me. Yo me pongo un abrigo. Now, I know that's hard, but I've got a nice clip on reflexive, or you could type in pronouns, or type in me te se. That's a difficult concept for a lot of Americans to master, that reflexive thing. Now, 211. When it is hot, what does Carlos put on? Again, if I said, ¿Qué pone Carlos? The Spanish speakers would assume, what does Carlos put on other people? But the se means himself. Remember, what does he have to say for himself? Himself is se. So, ¿Qué se pone Carlos? Literally, what himself puts on Carlos. And Carlos se pone pantalones cortos means Carlos on himself puts pants that are short. Now notice, how did you make pantalon plural? You added an es because the last letter of pantalon is a consonant. Remember, in English, if a word ends in a consonant like box, you add an es, boxes. Same way in Spanish. And in English, supposedly, if an English word ends with a vowel, you add an S. So notice, in Spanish, if a word like pantalon ends in a consonant, you make it plural by adding es. And then as a vowel, like corto, you make it plural by adding S. All right? So that is Spanish 1, sentences 209 through 212.